Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So, I used to believe in God, and we'll get into my beliefs later in the video, but that's not really the point. The point is I used to be super religious. Religious enough that I worked at a Catholic summer camp. I was a Roman Catholic, but I took all of the steps just like a good little Catholic boy will do. My parents got me baptized shortly after I was born, and as soon as I was old enough, I started going to Sunday school. When you're 5, you have First Communion, which is when you get to fictitiously eat the body and blood of another human being for the first time. How cute. And then around the age 7, you have reconciliation, which is really cool. You get to go into a closet with an old man and tell him all of the bad things that you've done. Because if you don't, you go to hell. And then you have confirmation. Because when your parents baptized you, they did it without consent. They raped religion onto you. And now that you're 16 years old, you're a grown-up. You can decide for yourself whether or not you want to commit your life to God. I went to church every Sunday. I was even an altar boy. I blamed the lack of abuse mostly to my looks, but I don't think my personality helped either. My priest as a child was literally an alcoholic, so he had booze on his mind, not little boys. After he lost his job because he wouldn't stop drinking, we got the most flamboyant closet gay in the world. Luckily, he weighs over 400 pounds, so he can run after kids if he wanted to. Now, let's talk about Guggenheim. Here's what they have on their website. I'm literally going to read it. Camp Guggenheim is located on Lower Saranac Lake in the magnificent Adirondack Mountains of New York State. The camp operates 6 weekly sessions from late June through August. Each weekly camp begins on Sunday at 3 and concludes with liturgy on Friday at 1:30. Each week-long session provides campers with an incredible mix of faith, fun, and adventure. Weeks 1 through 5 are open to 12 to 15-year-olds, and week 6 is open to ages 16 to 18. Faith formation and growth is at the heart of Guggenheim experience and is an important part of every day. Campers actively participate in Mass, reconciliation, adoration of the Blessed Sacrament, and prayer throughout the day. Camp activities include swimming, kayaking, canoeing, hiking, rappelling, arts and crafts, campfires, dances, and much, much more. Campers are actively involved in living out and sharing their faith. It's what makes Camp Guggenheim so incredible. Somehow the website fails to mention it's a mixed gender camp, but it's church camp. What's the worst that could happen? Actually, we found out. We had 2 13-year-old campers share their first kiss together on the dance floor. I worked there the summer of 2013, the summer right before I left the Marine Corps. I was in really good shape at the time, so I loved doing the hiking and rappelling stuff. They have a private beach there, and some of the staff are lifeguards, so we had a whole beach. We had a dock out in the middle of the lake. We had canoes and kayaks and all sorts of stuff. And this place is just literally in the middle of nowhere. Like, here's Montreal, and here's my hometown, and here's Saranac Lake. And if you remember, it's also where I did the Ice Castle vlog with my son Terry. So each week this camp has a dumb theme. Like whatever week falls on July 25th, that whole week is Christmas in July. We go all out with like a giant Christmas tree, decorate the whole camp. It was the whole shebang. Besides the themes, all of the weeks followed the same basic schedule. I'm not going to go through like hour by hour, mostly because I don't care, and also because I can't remember. But I'm going to point out the cool things. So camp technically starts at like 3 p.m. on Sunday, but we start check-in at like 10 or 11. But the campers generally show up hours before that. And this random little camp in upstate New York has this like cult vibe where there's people that drive from all over the country, like these little families that just know about this camp, drive from like Wisconsin to drop their kids off for a week. So we have a gate about halfway down the dirt road that leads to the camp that we can close so the campers don't bombard camp early, because they would. But when we went to open the gate, there was always a line of cars and people there, so we always made it a show. One weekend, one of the fellow counselors had a Bronco, so I tied a bicycle to the back of it, and that's how we showed up to the gate. And then once we opened it, they followed us back in where there's just me on a bicycle tied to the back of a Bronco with no helmet, and these parents are just watching me like, this is who I'm leaving my kids with for a week. But not much else happens that day besides registration and Mass. The next couple days, I can't really remember anything specific that we do besides like regular camp stuff, Mass, prayer. I think Wednesday confessions were a thing where we'd have an extra 8 to 10 priests sent to the camp so they could talk to all the campers one-on-one and tell them all the bad things they've done. I think after that on Wednesday is the night we actually had the big bonfire too. We had skits planned, and some of the campers made their own over the week. We just ate s'mores and stuff. It was just a nice bonfire. It's like the second to last night before they leave, so it's super. Everybody's already sad, basically. But Thursday was just full of stuff, since it was the day before we leave, so we just do a bunch of like group bonding activities for the last time. Like early in the day, we always have a volleyball tournament where it's a bunch of campers against staff. So you have 12 to 15-year-olds versus adults. We usually won. And then we would get so good over the course of the weeks, by the time the older kids week came, we would kill them too. Later in that day, we have fancy dinner, where all the campers bring a nice outfit and they'll dress up for dinner that night. And then after dinner was the dance, where we played kid-friendly, religion-friendly pop. And as long as there was room for Jesus, everything was going to be okay. And then Friday. Nothing really happened that day besides a giant mass where everybody's family comes so we can all be cannibals one last time together. I don't know if any of you find this interesting, but I have a couple other stories, like specific stories. So while I was a camp counselor, I had 2 vehicles. I had a Suzuki DRZ, I think it was like a 2004 or 2005, and a 2001 Ford Windstar, which, yeah. And there's this couple, probably in their late 50s, that lived in a house on camp, and they basically maintained the place. They didn't like my dirt bike. I had a habit of peeling the grass up all the time when I was leaving. The van, though, even though it wasn't a looker, boy, was it convenient. When we were going on the hikes, we always had to go off camp, so we'd have to pile into like 2 or 3 vehicles. Not with a minivan. We could fit all the campers in it and just go down the road. And at the time, I was into like current pop music. So, because especially if there's no other counselors in the car, we were listening to Kesha. So it was just Jerry and a bunch of super religious kids blaring Kesha as we went down these country roads. Subject change, are you ready? So you see a meteor, like it's headed somewhere, right? One night I was having trouble sleeping, like I usually do. So I went out by the beach, laid down a towel, and I was just looking at the stars. The best thing about this place is there's no city around it really, so almost every night, as long as it was clear, you could see the Milky Way. And while I was laying down, looking at the night sky, I noticed a star or something start to get brighter and brighter and brighter until it just consumed the entire sky. I'm pretty sure that it was a meteor headed in my direction. I looked up some stuff about it, and I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'm not a fucking scientist, but yeah. So let's skip forward to the time a couple of us counselors decided to drink while taking care of campers. You did what? Drink a little Mike's Hard Lemonade out of a non-transparent bottle. And you did this while watching campers. Yeah, there isn't really much of a story behind it though. I only did it once, and I didn't get caught. So what was the point of bringing it up? Mostly so you could plug my Patreon. Thanks. If you want to watch me buy this bong, there's a vlog of it on my Patreon. You're welcome. Anyways, we had a lot of fun. It was a healthy environment filled with love, compassion, and God. On the weekends when there's no campers around, we'd all just go in the canoes and kayaks, drink while we were going down the river, go cliff jumping. We were doing whatever. We're in the middle of the Adirondacks. We had a habit of raiding the kitchen after the campers went to bed. And we were all just having a good time. And it was the closest I've ever been to God. And will probably ever be. But as we've been over, I don't believe anymore. I've moved on from that stage in my life, and I'm continuing my journey. And a lot of people think that just because I'm an atheist that I hate religion. I think religion should be taxed, but I think religion's important in society. But if it wasn't for religion, a lot of people wouldn't be as nice as they are. Technically, I shouldn't put a correlation there, but it's there. And death is scary. Most people can't wrap their head around the fact that they cease to exist, and that's okay. You're allowed to think that. I don't know. I thought this was kind of interesting. I had to record it 3 times, so this is the last shot. If this is still fucked up, then this is still fucked up. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, give me a follow, and until next time, peace.